This is a question that I asked the actor, Cy Richardson, a couple of years ago. Because there's a scene in the film. It's interesting, because Repo Man is normally perceived as these two perspectives. One is the perspective of Harry Dean Stanton. One is the perspective of the mad scientist, played by Fox Harris. And what people forget in the world of Repo Man is actually there's like two other perspectives. One is the perspective of Tracy Walter, who tells the story around the garbage can. But the other is the perspective of the character of Cy Richardson, who tells the story driving to the repo where they get shot at, where Cy really gives this rap where he says how he would never enroll in the military. He would, you know, if there was a draft, he would avoid it. He gives a whole trip, which somehow all the people who have analyzed Repo Man have managed to ignore, even as they pay attention to the mad scientist, or to Harry Dean Stanton's character, or to Tracy Walter's character. They tend to miss the Cy Richardson character, which funnily enough was the character that I related to the most, because I've been in that, you know, I knew people who were in the rock and roll world, and I thought it was all bullshit. We're managing a rock and roll band, no job for a man, you know? And so when he says that, when he talks about that stuff, it's very interesting, but there's no explanation for it really, because he's in his own world. And I asked him a couple of years ago, when I was talking to the actor, Cy, on the telephone, I said, you know, because we made these lines together, we kind of improvised these lines together, and I said to him, when you said that thing about Vanetta's character, you know, you found out where she was coming from, what did you mean? Did you mean she was lesbian? And you came on to her as a guy and she wouldn't accept your thing? And Cy said, you know, I don't know. I just said it. You know, and so he found out where she was coming from, but he found out where she was coming from as an actor, and he didn't need to say any more. I've got no idea where Vanetta's character was coming from, and nor has Cy, you know. But somehow it worked, and I think that he's the undiscovered character in Repo Man, because he too has a philosophy. And it's a real aggressive, pacifist philosophy, which is like, fuck you, you know, I'm not going to be in your army, you know, I'm not going to do it, you know, and I'm kind of with that guy, rather than with Harry Dean Stanton, who's got his bizarre idea of like communism and capitalism and how they relate to each other and how we're against Christianity, but we're also against you know, I can't even buy into that stuff, but I can kind of buy into the philosophy of Cy Richardson. Anyway, that was my fault. Thank you.